Wow, it's another Monday. How about that, man? How about that? We made it. Good morning, everybody. Marcus Conti reporting. It is Monday. Monday. The date is October 24 in the year 2022. It's almost 1 year ago today. Almost 1 year. On November 7th, I believe. That's the day Granny Cat passed away. And maybe I'll take her picture down after that. But Granny Cat, the anniversary of Granny Cat passing, it's already a year, a long time. That's my baby. That was my baby who died. And but anyway, life goes on. Life is for the living. Don't get all emotional, man. Oh, Conti, are you having a feeling? Oh, poor little boy. Poor little Marcus is having a feeling. So today is another life, another day in our life together. I think the big call, if there is a news-worthy thing to talk about, is is the midterm elections here in America on November 8, I guess 7 or 8 or 6. I don't know what day it is. The Americans are going to go to the polls where they are allegedly going to pick representatives that represent them, allegedly, and so it gets heated. I'm sure wherever you are in America, if you look in your mailbox, you've got a big stack of paper, and vote for this guy. Not so much vote for this guy, but informing you that the other guy is bad. That's the way the mail that I read is not so much vote for me, I'm a good guy. It's don't vote for that guy because he's a bastard or she's a bastard. Right? Smear the other guy is what is how they do it here in America. And and are these elections real? Who knows? There's a lot of evidence to suggest that they aren't. Once upon a time, we had a president in America who openly stated that the elections are rigged. We've had many candidates along the way say that the elections are rigged. In 2016, the entire Democratic Party stood up and said, the elections are rigged against us. Over and over again. Russia stole the election. But anyway, in a few days, we're going to have another one of those things, one of those events, and someone comes out victorious. Whether it's fair or unfair isn't the point here in America. All that matters is who is declared the winner. So those events are going to be happening once again in America. And what else is going on? There's Trump is definitely running in 2024. There's no doubt about it. Today is Monday. I'm just going to confirm a few stories. There's no real headline story per se. We'll confirm some of, I guess, in hindsight, it's not even a few weeks later with the Nord Stream 2 explosions in the Baltic Sea. Who done it? I said right away that it looked like the Americans, day one I've said it. It looked like the Americans did it, while the entire mainstream media was blaming Russia. And, and the United States government was blaming Russia, when all of the evidence pointed to the dirty Americans having blown up the pipeline. So it seems that I think at this point we can now confirm that, hypothesis. Can we confirm? We're confirming today, confirmation day, right? Confirming that Trump is running. Hell, fucking yeah! He's on TV blabbing and screaming and carrying on that he's running. What else? What else do we have? Some other stuff. White House take back the House. Immigrants. Yeah, immigration problem. Are we? This is my thumbnail today. Immigration across the globe. Is in fact a way to drive the cost of paying employees down. drive that price down. Don't pay these employees fucking a lot of money. Open the gate of immigration. Let the immigrants flood into the country, not just America, but all over Europe. Let them flood in and put the pressure, put the boot on the throat of the workers in those nations to shut the hell up and take less while corporate profits, in an effort to get corporate profits to soar. Now, that's what it is. That's what it always has been. But, sometimes it takes a while for people, people in the pay-for-play media to confirm it. They try initially the gaslighting campaign to make people not believe what they're seeing and what is true. In the example here, right? All of the evidence, there will no longer be a Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Remember when Biden said it? You remember when the CIA released it? You remember when Mike Pompeo said that Nord Stream would never happen, would not be allowed to happen? You remember all those things? And then why does our mainstream media, who's now being sued, by the way, there's another, I'll cover that one too, if there's time, a lawsuit. I don't put a lot of faith in lawsuits until they kind of, finish out or get to the end of. But the Biden administration is being sued for violations of the First Amendment, for silencing people for many, many reasons. Everybody's a misinformation agent except them. Right? And people have been silenced. People have been fired for failure to conform to misinformation, vaccine misinformation, not being allowed to make up their own minds, not being allowed to speak their own minds. And there are lawsuits now pending, and we'll continue to watch those. Look at the markets at 9 a.m. Again, this is my thumbnail today on a confirmation Monday. There will be no Nord Stream 2 pipeline. My name is Marcus Conte. I have a website. Good morning, everybody in the chat. On the far right side of your screen are real people in real time watching the program. Watching, I guess, me hang myself or profess one human being's truth. Watching a guy profess his truth. But why doesn't he have teeth? He has no teeth. Therefore, he's not worthy. But look, he has beautiful hair. Look how beautiful. He has beautiful hair, but he has no teeth. And he has a tan in the middle of the fucking, when it's freezing outside. I was out. I've already taken the sun. I took the sun twice this weekend. The sun was out. Get out of my way, man. That's how I treat when I see the sun out, and it's it doesn't have to be warm. It's just the sun has to be out. It could be 30 degrees, and I'm outside, with my Speedo on and nothing else but a Speedo, and soaking up the rays. You just got to get out into the sun when there's no clouds. If there's clouds, forget about it. You'll freeze your ass off. But, I go out there and, when it's really hot, I put my Speedo on. And I go out into the park. And there's a sand pit in the park. And I do hot yoga when it's 100 degrees in my skimpy underwear. And I watch the housewives stop and stare because I'm a very fit, sexy man. And even though I don't have any teeth. And I watch the housewives observe while they walk their doggies. So anyway, yeah, I have a website. I forgot what I was saying. I was talking about myself. So every morning at 9 a.m., we're right here on YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful, fascinating, dynamic, influential platform that we love. But as time goes on, and as I've always said, it's hard to get mad and or really angry at YouTube because they're being pressured. The evidence is, now becoming almost overwhelming that big tech is being manipulated by big government, right? By big tech. big tech is being manipulated by big government. Right? The Biden administration is clearly, unequivocally leaning on these big tech companies to shut dissenting voices the fuck up. Right? Shut up, man. So we know that's happening, but we love YouTube. But again, we're not loyal to YouTube. If YouTube goes the way of the dodo and calls everybody misinformation and continues that nonsense, we move over to D Live. That's right over here on D Live. If you're watching the program somewhere else, you're probably watching it on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, Truth Social, or wherever else you consume social media, Facebook. And these are the videos on a daily basis. They're posted to Rumble. I believe we're at number 68 today. 68 of 100. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen at 100, but it's what will become of Marcus in the Morning and what will become of this show after 100. We'll make a decision. Maybe we'll all decide. Maybe the fine people in the chat will help me decide what the hell to do next. Right? You know, maybe I'll change some photos. Maybe I'll stop playing more happy music instead of putting everybody to sleep with my piano. I love playing piano, man. I love entertaining people. I go out into, there's an open mic in my area that I go on every Tuesday. Not every Tuesday, but a lot of Tuesdays. And I go out there, and it's a raucous, rowdy, bar, and a lot of locals sitting there with their elbows on the bar, slugging, kicking back beer and shit, and I go early because I got to get out of there. I don't like the rowdy. So I play, but I play. I just break out the piano, man. I go in there with the toy piano with my cord, and I say, "Here, plug me in." And the guy, the board guy plugs me in, and I just go. I go for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. A lot of fun to do. I play piano because it's fun. I used to play guitar because I thought I had to. I thought I had something to say to the world. I thought I was, destined to be a very influential rock star. I believed that when I was in my 20s, and I was in that band over there, Barney Rubble and the Cunt Stubble. We were on our way. We were battling it out with Two Live Crew. Right? Two Live Crew got too far ahead of us, but I just play piano because I love it, and I do this because I love it. I don't have any. I relinquished my ambition. Right? Why do I do this? I do this for you. I do this all for you. I don't do this for me. There is no me. There is no me. So anyway, so let's start here. This is a fascinating clip. So there are German climate activists toss mashed potatoes at Monet's painting, $110 million painting. Why did they do it? Let's watch them do it. Here they go. Oh, pooh, ha, pah, take that, you motherfucker. Oh, there's audio. It's in German. They're sexy too. Oh, let's go. So people are starving, people are freezing, people are dying. I'll translate because it's in German. We are in a climate catastrophe. Look at the fucking piano. Look at the potato fucking dripping off Monet's $110 million painting. I'll tell you this, right? In Germany, you could get that close to Monet's painting with pea soup. Try that in New York. You would these motherfuckers. These activists would be tackled and beat to the ground already. They wouldn't even get a sentence out. They'd be fucking destroyed already. But people are starving, people are freezing, people are dying. And according to them, Monet's got to pay for it. So, okay, people are starving. We are in a climate catastrophe. Okay, are we? And all you are afraid of is tomato soup or mashed potatoes on a painting. You know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of because science tells us that we won't be able to feed our families in 2050. All right. Does it take mashed potatoes on a painting to make you listen? This painting is not going to be worth anything if we have to fight over food. Did they have a point? When will you finally start to listen? When will you finally start to listen and stop business as usual? Wow. Fucking, let's watch the splat again. Look at that. Bang. Bang. Mashed potatoes on Monet. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Monet. Take that shit, man. These fucking people are crazy, right? Look, climate change. You know, I know the animal activists. But why Monet? Why Monet? All right, look, they got the front page of the Post, right? The New York Post is talking about it. I'm sure they're talking about it in Germany and such. But yeah. Human activity. That's what it is. We know it. The only way to lessen human activity, sadly, is to decrease the number of humans. When you see, like, for example, too many birds or too many, where I live, there's a phenomena of black ravens, big-ass black crows that come in. I mean, there's a time, a moment, like towards the middle of the winter, where you can look up and it literally looks like a cloud of black. That's how many ravens and birds come in. Now, where did they come from? Where are they going? What are they doing? I don't know. But there's a lot of them. And it does look scary when you're under it. It's like a cloud of birds, and then they're gone. I don't know where they go. But do we want to decrease their population to save whatever it is they're after and eating? Right? That's the natural, a better example. Right? You see a cockroach in your house. Ugh, I see a roach. Now, one roach is not going to really wreck the fucking house. But when you start seeing 70, 80, and 200 roaches competing for your breakfast, then what do? You reach for the poison and try to kill and get rid of the roaches. You also start to clean up so that they don't come around as much. Right? The natural order of things is when there's too many of them, you get rid of them. Now, are humans ready to fess up that is a possibility? I think the elites know that. Maybe that's why they're promoting nuclear war. Get rid of a third of the population and more people will have more to eat. Throwing mashed potatoes, by the way, this doesn't destroy the painting. They're not destroying the painting. They have shit it's water-based. The painting is, I think they used oil. Monet painted with oil. Maybe acrylic too, but once the paint dries, they have the ability to dry it out, and then I think the mashed potato will just brush off. It's kind of like a glue. It might fade it a little bit, but it doesn't destroy the painting. But anyway, man. So the point I was trying to make is that if you want to de-escalate climate change, you got to start by de-escalating the number of humans that are causing a lot of it. And if you don't believe that humans are causing climatical, imperfections, then you don't know what you're sleeping. Just look at the species. How many species humans have killed for food, for the idea that they're taking over our space, or all this other nonsense. Right? So anyway, what else we got? So Trump is not effing kidding anymore. Trump vows to take back our magnificent White House in 2024 once and for all. Let's listen. The Donald is back. Love him or hate him. He's down in Texas.
This is the year we're going to take back the House. We're going to take back the Senate. We're going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our magnificent White House. We're going to take it back. Together, we'll fight for more jobs for American families, fair trade for American workers, and more American factories forging more products stamped with that beautiful phrase, you know what it is? Made in the USA. Made in the USA. It's a beautiful phrase. We'll shut down Biden's border disaster, reinstitute our strong Remain in Mexico policy. How about getting that? Remain in Mexico instead of the United States. Isn't that nice? You think that was easy? No. They ended it as soon as they could, and then we won in court. But they want to end it. Strengthen the Patriots of ICE.
Gotta love the Donald, man. Gotta love the Donald on a Monday.
And Border Patrol. And we will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration. We will end the visa lottery. We will end illegal immigration once and for all. Look, once and for all, we're going to end it. And you're going to come into our country. You're going to come in legally. We want people to come into our country. They have to come in legally. We will stop the crime wave in Democrat-run cities. We will give our police the power they need and the respect they deserve. And we will not take legal protection away from our police. They want to take legal protection so that somebody can sue a police officer and tell him to go out and hire a lawyer. That's just what he wants, is a lawyer. We will restore law and order in America.
Can a former president like Trump...
This is the year we're going to take...
Can a former president like Donald Trump win again? Historically, has a president been unelected, quote, unelected, and then run again and win? Yeah, there's a couple of instances. I don't know the specific ones, but if you look at American history, there are a few times in our history where a president was a president, then he wasn't a president anymore, and then he was a president again. So can Trump win? Yeah, he's the front runner. In my view, in this reporter's view, Donald Trump is the front runner for the presidency of the United States. Can the Biden administration pull off the censorship and the silencing of opposing opinions and what arguably is election rigging, but we're not allowed to say that. Outsmarting the other side. Can Trump overcome that now that more is being exposed about just how dirty the Democrats are? Yeah, I think so. Can he overcome the margin of the dirty Democrats cheating? If Bernie Sanders would have been the Democratic candidate, Bernie Sanders would have beat Trump, in my view. But Bernie Sanders, he couldn't get past just how fucking terrible the Democrats really are, how they rig, how they pick the candidate, and there is no Democratic primary. Get that out of your mind. The Republicans, at least in 2016, had a Republican primary, and Trump was the candidate, and he won. But with the Democrats, it doesn't matter that Bernie Sanders was the clear front runner of the Democratic Party, and they gave it to Biden, and firstly they gave it to Hillary Clinton. So Trump on fire, I would say. That's pretty good. Look at this. So immigration, the great Donald Trump has just spoke on immigration. New data shows immigrants are driving down wages for German workers. Now, what commentator in America has said that immigration is about driving down wages for American workers? I said it. I say it all the time. Why? How do you explain? What explains illegal immigration? What explains the reason why people would want a flood of illegal immigration into our country, and then not only not turn them away, but put them on planes and airdrop them into Martha's Vineyard and Florida and wherever else immigrants are sought after, to do the work, to drive down wages. We will do it for less. Look how wonderful these immigrants are. They'll work for peanuts. And look at those dirty Americans over there. They want $15 an hour so that they could pay for things that they already bought, like mortgages and cars. Look at them. They're fat, overstuffed American workers. We could do it for less. Get the immigrants. Line them up. We love immigrants. Right? That's what corporate America. That's why corporate America supports it. And corporate America is a big lobby in America. We fucking what the Fortune 500 and the S&P 500 companies say, the Dow Jones companies say, is what happens. Right? And but there you go. Without getting too far in, new data shows immigrants are driving down wages for German workers. No surprise there. No surprise there. And just to confirm, again, we're confirming things today on Monday. Where does most aid to Ukraine come from? Now, you drive around the cities of America, the one that I live in, for example, or close to. When you drive through, you see, particularly at churches, you see the Ukrainian flag. Sometimes it's upside down because they don't know which way it goes. Right? The blue is on top. Sometimes you see the yellow on top. But it says then, help support the people of Ukraine. Now, we want to support the people of Ukraine. Nobody wants to be in a war-torn country. But if you really support the people of Ukraine, don't send billions of dollars in guns and bombs and other forms of defense systems into the country. Don't do that, because when you do that, you cause death. That bombs and guns in the hands of humans fighting other humans causes death, right? But where does most of this aid come from? Right there. France throws in about 2%, Norway about 2.5%, Poland a little more than that, Canada less than 5%, Germany less than 5%, the UK looks like it's about 8%, and the EU combined is 18%. And look at America. 53% of the money, more than half of all the money flooding into the Ukraine to kill people comes from the Americans. 28, I would say the blue is 28%. The blue is military. So military support roughly looks like about 28% right over here comes from the dirty Americans. So who is throwing gas on the conflict in Ukraine? Is it the Russians? Is it the native Ukrainians who already voted to be part of Russia? No. It's the Americans who are blowing up pipelines and pumping the world with misinformation about war and the reason why they're there. And who backs it? We back it. Who backs us? The corporations, man, they're losing ground. They don't want no fucking Russian pipeline selling natural gas to Germany. We can't have that shit, man. That shit's got to come from Exxon and T-Mobile, and not T-Mobile, Mobile and Exxon, right? Our companies, man, unless we're selling it, it ain't happening. Huh? It's got to be us selling it, and you got to pay in dollars, not buying from Germany and paying in ruble. That's the reality of it, right? And the military, under our administration, under the policy of perpetual war, it continues, right? And the answer is, as I say, always lie in the stock market, right? Exxon, Mobil, right? You want to look at the war stocks, you look at Boeing, Raytheon, fucking Hewlett, whatever. The other, I'll get to, if I'm not looking at it, I forget their names. But the military-industrial complex stocks, the companies that make money on the bombs and the fucking guns and the bullets, that's who you got to look for. The nuclear bombs that they make, that's where you look for answers. Right? So confirmation. Look. Oh, so Matt Talby, the good reporter over at Rolling Stone, who people listen to, finally, weeks later, is saying, who blew up the Nord Stream pipeline? Russia? Question mark. It is question mark. Let's listen to. Let's listen. This is a great little clip, right? So it appears Matt Orfalia. I don't know who he is, but the thing has the video has 36,000 views. Let's listen. Now, I guess a month and a half after the Nord Stream pipeline blew up in the Baltic Sea, who done it? This reporter, Mr. Conti, has told you unequivocally, based on the evidence, that it was the dirty Americans, and now it seems that it's inescapable. Why haven't the Americans found out who done it? You're telling me that the United States Navy, with all its knowledge and research, can't figure out who blew up the pipeline? Can't go down into the Baltic Sea and figure it out? Of course they can. Why don't they do it? Because they blew it up.
There will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that?
I promise you we'll be able to do it.
I promise you.
Someone blew up Russia's Nord Stream pipeline.
I mean, we'd have to conclude without the evidence that it's most likely
Russian sabotage on its own infrastructure.
It's a common sense matter.
I think it's Putin's way of sending a message.
What Putin is saying to us by blowing up his pipeline is, look, I can blow up a pipeline.
Everyone knows that Putin did this himself.
It's the closest thing to a smoking gun without the direct proof.
Yeah, I think logic and common sense will tell you that
without the evidence,
Russia was behind the incident.
We can say it for sure.
Who sabotaged the Nord Stream 2 pipeline?
The Russians.
Scary, right? It's scary. This is not historic. This is within the last few weeks. This is not a historic election. This is not 2016. This is last month. They're still blaming Russia for everything.
I love the certainty and I appreciate the insight.
Yeah, there's exactly one country on that list of suspects, Brad, and Russia would be it.
It's hard to imagine others with a significant motive, but
we will bring an end to it.
Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
Who did it? What a mystery.
One way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
But it remains unclear who could have been behind the Nord Stream pipeline leaks.
Make explicitly clear to anyone involved with constructing this pipeline that the consequences of doing so are catastrophic.
Who would do such a thing like this? I mean,
that offers tremendous strategic opportunity.
We still don't know who caused damage to the natural gas pipelines.
The U.S. Secretary of State warned against the pipeline.
The Nord Stream pipeline mystery continues.
U.S. says they'll do everything to stop the Nord Stream pipeline.
We do everything we can.
Then I have no idea who is responsible.
Kill Nord Stream 2 now.
Put an end to it.
Use all the tools available.
Stop the Nord Stream 2.
And let it rust beneath the waves of the Baltic.
It's almost inconceivable to think that the U.S. would do it.
A member of European Parliament publicly thanked the U.S. for blowing up the pipelines.
This pipeline must be stopped.
Who would do that and why?
According to U.S. government think tank Rand Corp, the first step to weaken Russia is to stop Nord Stream 2.
So it's a real mystery.
Halt Nord Stream 2 to stop Russia.
Shut down the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Stopping the Nord Stream.
Take out Nord Stream 2 forever. Permanently.
Ending it permanently.
End it once and for all.
U.S. must take immediate steps to terminate Nord Stream.
Should cancel the Nord Stream pipeline.
Absolutely, we should cut it off.
We must stop this Nord Stream.
We have made clear to the Russians that pipeline is at risk if they move further into Ukraine.
We can't find anybody who'd be the obvious culprit in all of this.
When it comes to Nord Stream 2, the pipeline that would bring natural gas from Russia to Germany, it will not happen. It was.
Do we really need more evidence? Do we really need more evidence to suggest who done it? That's all we want to know. Who done it? Who done it? It's all on the record, as someone in the chat said. It's all, I can't pronounce your name, Thorn OOX.
Deliberate act of sabotage, and now the Russians are pumping out disinformation and lies.
I want to bring in
So there's the guy who did it saying that the other guy is the misinformation. Again, it's just a vicious cycle. I didn't watch all of this. Let's keep going.
Former CIA Director John Brennan.
Russia is certainly the most likely suspect.
Russia is certainly the likeliest suspect.
Russia is most likely behind this.
Russia is the likely cause of it.
Likelihood that Russia is behind the attacks.
Very likely. Russian.
Likely Russian.
It is likely that this is an act by Russia.
The most likely thing is in fact the most likely thing. Russia.
The most likely suspect at this point, according to many, is Russia.
I've heard people I trust saying that it's just probably Russia.
Vladimir Putin, the most likely.
Russia is likely to blame.
I mean, that's totally something Putin would do, and then go blame it on someone else.
Essentially a scenario of cutting off your nose to spite your face here.
Why would Russia bomb its own pipeline? It doesn't seem to make sense if you're thinking in a rational actor scenario, but
experts agree that Russia is the key suspect.
Experts say Russia.
Experts point the finger at Russia.
Experts pointing their finger at Russia.
European leaders are pointing the finger at Russia.
And all fingers pointing at Vladimir Putin.
Pointing the finger at Moscow.
Pointing the finger at
the
Russia.
Occam's razor points to Russia.
Most logical points to Russia.
German lawmakers point the finger at Russia. Spain points the finger at Russia.
All signs point to Russia.
Signs point to Russia, and Russia.
Still kind of seems to me like Occam's razor does still point to Russia's involvement.
Russia is a prime suspect.
Putin, the prime suspect.
This is a not so subtle message from the Russians.
Russian sabotage. Russian sabotage.
What's happening here is Russian sabotage.
Sabotage by the Russians.
Sabotage by the Russians.
More saber rattle, more intimidation from the Russians.
It certainly is.
While NATO does not call out Russia by name for being behind the attack.
Looks like it could have had Russia behind.
There you go, man. There you go. All the experts agree. There it is, the echo chamber. The echo chamber. Down the echo chamber. We see the evidence of the Americans warning you that, warning the people that own the pipeline that we will blow this shit up, man. It will not go forward. And then down the echo chamber of what used to be real news, we hear the gaslight. Blame Russia for what you did. Blame Russia for what you did. There's no longer, like I said earlier, can the United States Navy or the British Army, British Navy, go to the bottom of where the thing blew up and figure out who did it? Of course they can. They won't do it because they did it, and that's the end of it. We knew it then, and now it's confirmed. These are acts of war, right? And that's fine, but you're being lied to. You're being lied to on your own effing television. These people are lying to you on your own television, on your own airwaves. That's a problem. And then when people speak up, they're silenced as misinformation. This right here is the definition of misinformation. This is what gaslighting looks like. We saw it in elections. We're seeing it in the pipeline. Right? That's the problem. Right? Yeah, act of war. America is at war with Ukraine. The policy with Russia. The policy is to support Ukraine, who hates Russia, and that's the policy. But you're lying to people. You're doing what Noam Chomsky said, which is you're manufacturing the consent. Because if people knew, right, if you came out and said, yeah, we blew up the pipeline that carries natural gas to Germany so that their gas bill goes down and that they can stay warm for the winter, people will say, what the fuck are you doing? Why did you blow up a pipeline? Right? Because it's economics. They're buying gas from the wrong people. They don't want you buying gas from the dirty Russians.
It looks like it was a Russian attack.
The attack is right out of Putin's playbook.
Putin's playbook. Putin's playbook.
Sabotage sounds very part of his playbook. It's essentially owned by the Russians and a Russian company. It'd be hard to protect against self-sabotage.
the assessment is Russia was behind it.
The destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline, I would bet, was a U.S. action. What evidence do you have of that? Well, first of all, there's direct radar evidence. That is
Jeff, we got to stop there. They have to leave it there.
Not having it, man.
Only
Not
Russia could be behind the Nord Stream pipeline leaks. Only one answer, Russia.
They did. And certainly the suspicions have got to be Russia who's doing this.
Got to be. Obviously Russia.
It's the obvious explanation that this was done by Russia.
It's pretty obvious this is a Russian sabotage operation.
Russia says, oh, we had nothing to do with this, but come on.
It was probably Russia that blew up the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Oh, I think it did.
I'm 99% certain of it.
Everything that I'm reading and sensing is that
Russia did it.
Russian or Russian forces. So,
Russia has done what it frequently does when it is responsible for something, which is make accusations that it was really someone else who did it.
Russian sabotage of the Nord Stream pipeline marks a point of no return.
Poland's prime minister called this.
This is a brilliant clip, by the way. Whoever put this together puts together all of the propaganda in one place. So we could see it all in 7 minutes. We see the whole sum total of the propaganda just pouring out of the fucking mainstream media, right? All fake, based on no evidence, when all the evidence points to the Americans, all of it.
It's the next stage in Russia's war escalation.
Putin trying to incite an attack on Russia.
Vladimir Putin is trying to coax NATO into this conflict?
The explosions that we saw in the Baltic with Nord Stream 1 and 2, that would be an escalation.
It's illogical. The things they're saying are so illogical, but they're not allowed to go the other way. That's the problem. Of course Russia did it. You can't say we did it, right? You can't say America did it because that...
He's looking for an excuse to escalate.
Could be the latest excuse for Putin to escalate his attacks.
The pipeline leaks will change the course of this war.
This could be one of the most impactful global events of the year, if not of many years.
The response to this sabotage leads us down a very potential dark path, especially one that involves nuclear weapons.
NATO says it will retaliate for any attacks on the critical infrastructure of member countries.
The Nord Stream pipeline, if that is a Russian attack, does that count as an attack on a NATO nation?
Any deliberate attack on critical NATO infrastructure will be met with a firm and united response from NATO.
That could mark a new and serious escalation.
NATO may have to respond to this. So potentially, we are looking at NATO making some kind of pointed response other than a strongly worded statement to Russia for an attack on what is basically European infrastructure.
There was some optimism that maybe the war in Ukraine would be tamping down. Is there any optimism now?
I'm not optimistic about that.
The gas leak in the Nord Stream pipeline has fundamentally changed the nature of the war in Ukraine.
He seems to be laying the groundwork for the potential use of nuclear weapons on the battlefield. So maybe a week ago we would have said there's a 10% chance. I think we're probably closer to 25% chance.
That's certainly an alarming escalation there. Yeah.
I believe it was the Russians.
Fascinating.
Wow.
is why
Wow, what a great compilation. Thank you to that, whoever, Matt R. Thalia. You know how many clips you got to watch to put something like that together? I got no patience for that shit, man. But there it is, right? The echo chamber of fake news. And you ask yourself, when you're walking in the street and someone asks you, who do you think blew up the pipeline? Not that they would, because they don't even know it's happening. But if they should find out that a pipeline blew up on CNN, and then they're told that Russia did it, they believe it, without knowing that Russia owns the pipeline, without knowing the economics behind the reason why the Americans blew it up, to cut Russia off. AKA sanctions, but there you go, brilliant clip, man. Thank you so much for that, whoever did it. And again, I put I'll take this one with a grain of salt. Lawsuits reveal vast censorship scheme by big tech. Yeah, okay. Missouri versus Biden. A little noticed federal lawsuit is uncovering astonishing evidence of an entrenched censorship scheme cooked up between the federal government and big tech that would make communist China proud. All right, so there is a lawsuit. It's I didn't read through this. I really don't care to. Supreme Court of the United States, Biden versus Xavier Health. I don't know what it is, but let's read a little more. So far, 67 officials or agencies, including the FBI, have been accused in the lawsuit of violating the First Amendment by pressuring Facebook, Twitter, and Google to censor users for alleged misinformation or disinformation. Now, I don't need any evidence at all whatsoever to tell you that this platform that we happen to be on live right now censors. I was gone for a year and a half. People said, "Oh, why did you leave? Where did you go? What, did you find a new career?" No, I got kicked off. For what? For covering the news, for covering the evidence, and then being accused of misinformation. Okay? So it is coming out. Victims of Biden's big tech censorship enterprise. So, and again, your heart has to go out a little bit for Facebook, Twitter, and Google for being stepped on, right? See, when corporate profits are at risk, right? If Google is the price of the stock is going up and they're making a lot of money doing what they're doing, and suddenly a inconvenient truth comes along, like the government is telling us to shut these people down who are not towing the party line, they just do it. Right? They have to do it. They have to do it, or government is going to do them in. Government will shut them down, and the writing's already on the wall for that. Antitrust law, various fines up the ass, right? If they don't comply. So we're somewhat sympathetic to the big tech companies, but again, it's a conundrum, because if the elections are not fair and people, one person, one vote, isn't really what's happening in our country, there's no way to wrestle the power away from these elected officials. The elected officials who are paid for and work for big government, big tech, big pharma, big oil. That's who's running the show. And on that note, let's look at how all those industries are doing right now. And the markets are open. Ding! Woo! Dow Jones Industrial Average up 344 right now. S&P 500 is up 27. Go, 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 go. The NASDAQ is down 12. Come on, man. Come on, man. Go up. That's probably going to turn green. We're up. We're open for 20 minutes already. Let's look at the big board. Here's your evidence. This is where, if you want to know why all that happens, you look here. This is where you look. Right? So Apple flat, 13 cents up. Amazon up 5 cents. Google up 6 cents. A little Facebook, Meta down $5 a share, or 3%. Something going on over there. Tesla down another 10 on the news that Elon Musk may fire 75% of the workforce. Rivian, that I don't know why that's going down, but it should go up. Rivian, the battery-operated car maker that supplies not cars but trucks to Amazon, down 89 cents. The Walmart up $2. I want to look at the So here's the war stocks. War stocks. Lockheed Martin blowout earnings up $6 a share to 460. Go, go, go! Blow them the motherfucking up. Raytheon up 96 cents. Pfizer up 61 cents. The holy vaccine stocks. Oh, the vaccine that will keep you healthy and make you safe is up. Where is it? I lost my fucking. Oh yeah, Johnson & Johnson up $3. Moderna up $3 a share. Go, 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 go! Johnson & Johnson. I don't have that one up. Probably up as well. Go, go, go! More, more, more. Take your shot, man. We're gonna make cancer vaccine too, and force your kids to swallow it. We're gonna force that shit up your ass. All right? That's what's happening, man. If you don't push back on big pharma, You're running. People lost their occupation, lost their work, because they refused to get a fucking shot, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many boosters, and were forced to wear masks, and it just, it was all garbage, right? We know that. We know that to be true. Right? So, but anyway, so the big board. So that's about it. People lost their occupation. Hey, man, we already said that, Conti. What are you doing, man? Oh, here we are. So thank you all for joining me. My name is Marcus Conti. Thank you all for thank you, Vinny DiMartini, for your fine moderation. Thank you for not being a dick in the chat. Looks like we got a good crowd, man. It looks like people are respecting one another, respecting the talking head in front of them and each other, and so thanks everybody, man. And I don't know. I guess I'll play us out. See you tomorrow. Another day, another day in our lives together. Believe what's in your heart. Believe what's in your heart. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype, man. Thank you very much.